Welcome to the Benton-Franklin Council of Governments Air Quality video series. In part 1 of episode 4, we'll explore what we can do as individuals to reduce air pollution. Quick introduction. Who are you and what do you do?
My name is Steve Ghan. I worked for 29 years at the Pacific Northwest National Laboratory as a climate scientist, but then retired in 2018 to spend more time leading the Tri-Cities chapter of Citizens Climate Lobby.
What transportation changes can people make to improve air quality?
So air quality is largely affected by combustion of gasoline or diesel fuel, and certainly avoiding diesel is a good place to start because that puts out soot particles, which are really nasty stuff. But any vehicle puts out ozone and hydrocarbons, and so reducing your use of gasoline also helps. So that could involve a more efficient vehicle like a hybrid, or a plug-in hybrid is a very good choice because they typically have a range of 30 to 50 miles in electric mode, which is good enough for most days in town. And then if you're going out of town, then you still have the gasoline option. And I have one of those, and it works great. We're averaging 110 miles per gallon. And then, of course, there's a full electric vehicle. As the charging station network increases, those are becoming more and more practical. I also would recommend a bicycle for your local transportation. I'm a lifelong bicycle commuter, and I love doing that. The health benefits, the time to transition between work and home, and of course the environmental benefits. So I highly recommend that. Also support higher density in urban development. Higher density reduces distance to services, so people can walk or bicycle to get their services or whatever. So there are a lot of things that we can do. Of course, there's also the public transit. If you're going on a regular basis to school or to work or whatever, is very practical as well.
Simple actions like carpooling, using public transportation, and maintaining your vehicle can significantly reduce emissions. What is your organization doing to reduce air pollution and improve air quality?
Citizens Climate Lobby, our chapter has been working with some others in Sustainable Tri-Cities and some other people to develop a climate opportunity action plan for Benton and Franklin counties, which identifies actions that we can take in updating our comprehensive plans for cities and counties to reduce our use of fossil fuel and reduce vehicle miles traveled, and primarily for the purpose of reducing emissions that drive climate change, but there are also abundant health benefits and just livability benefits of this plan too. It involves relaxing our zoning laws so we can have mixtures of housing and commercial, and adding public charging stations so people in apartments can own EVs practically. A whole list of things. We had an op-ed in the August 11th Tri-City Herald announcing this, and we have the plan posted on a website.
What are easy changes people can do to improve air quality? Any other tips?
So certainly, I discussed transportation. There's also things you can do inside. People who cook with gas are at a risk of exposing themselves to nitrous oxide and ozone. The gas doesn't put out particles, but it does put out those gases which are harmful to health. If you are cooking with gas and are not ventilating your kitchen, then those gases are accumulating in your home, and they have health adverse effects. So if you have ventilation, use it. If you don't have ventilation, consider switching your cooking to cooktops. There are these induction cooktops that you can plug into a 110 outlet. They cost $100, and they are very efficient. You'll have to, if you have aluminum skillet, you have to replace that with a steel, like a cast iron or something. And they work very well, and they're very fast and have great control. So I'd recommend that for your own health effects. And I talked about transportation. Barbecues, you don't use charcoal. Living here in the Tri-Cities, we know by now that it's very common to have smoke coming into town, usually from forests burning in the Cascades in Washington or even in Canada. And that smoke can become quite dense, and it's quite hazardous to health, particularly for sensitive people like asthmatics. And so you can protect yourself from that. If the air quality index goes above 100, it's not too bad unless you're asthmatic. If it's above 200, then everyone really should be protecting themselves. If you're outside, wear an N95 mask. You know what those are. If you're indoors, you don't want to wear those all the time. But if you have forced air system, you can get filters for your system that you put into the return air duct that do a better job of filtering out the ultrafine smoke particles. There's a website, allfilters.com, where I got mine. They have different abilities to filter out particles. It's measured by this MERV index, which goes from 1 to 20. They generally recommend a MERV index of 8 to 11 on those filters. Anything higher than that, and your furnace will struggle to circulate the air. But 8 to 11 is a good, probably better than what you have. If you don't have forced air system, you can also buy an in-room air filter system, which costs a few $100s. And they can do certainly one room in your home. So check out those. And if you're asthmatic, you're probably already doing that. But if you don't have that, I really would recommend doing that.
We can take measures to protect our health and the environment. Every action counts. Together, we can make our air healthier for everyone. Thanks for watching. Up next is part 2 on personal actions to reduce air pollution.